Hi, we're at the X Gallery on Orange Street tonight, and A Safe Place is sponsoring an exhibit, a photographic exhibit by Donna Ferrato, noted photographer, called Living with the Enemy. And it's about domestic abuse and violence in the home, and it's a very moving piece of work. It's only going to be here till Monday, so by the time you see this, you will not be able to come down and see it. But we wanted to talk to some people about the situation here on the island. And like I say, it's a very moving piece. So we'll find out what's going on around here with that. Okay, we're talking to Sabra Vaca, the director of Safe Place.
Right.
And are you guys sponsoring this event down here?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Because of the generosity of our local Chamber of Commerce. This is an exhibit that A Safe Place has wanted to bring to Nantucket for a very long time, but we've been unable to do that because of finances. And the Chamber made money available to do an art exhibit of some kind, and so we presented to them a proposal to do this one, and we were surprised and pleased that they were courageous enough to pay for this and bring it to the public.
Tell us a little bit about how this exhibit came together. This woman, Donna Ferrato,
Yes.
took the photographs.
Yes, she actually was going to do a piece on people in love. And the couple, as she was photographing the original couple, the man in the couple hit his partner. I forget if it was his wife or his girlfriend. And it really changed her whole focus. And she's been doing and then she went on to do it. She's actually been in shelters. She's been to court. She actually has seen firsthand the kinds of things that battered women go through.
This is candid photography here.
It certainly is.
It's
it certainly
real,
is.
Real life
Yep.
verite. I mean, there's some very disturbing stuff here.
Yes, I think it can be very disturbing, and I think that people that come to see it, we told them that in the paper. I hope that people still would, though, because this is reality. This is what people are enduring.
Well, there are a lot of generational and political reactions to the situation of domestic abuse in the country. A lot of people, older people, maybe say, well, this wasn't around when I was young, and it's a new thing. And a lot of younger people think maybe it's a political fad or some kind of political correctness. But in fact, this is a long-standing situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we're just more aware of it now.
Yes, I think that as women have gained their place in society, they've also began talking. Actually, domestic violence was first talked about in when was that? In the 70s with the consciousness-raising groups. That's when women understood that other women had endured the same hurt and pain that they had, and for years, and still to this day, women sometimes feel that it's their fault. They feel ashamed to talk about it, and that's what we're trying to counteract.
And Nantucket is not Disneyland, is it?
No.
Nantucket's a real place with real problems. Can you tell us something about the statistics, or just generally what the situation is?
Well,
how busy you people are?
Right. I think that Nantucket is no different than most parts of the country. Our statistics reflect pretty much what is going on in the rest of the country. Our numbers are small. They're not terribly dramatic, but of course we are small.
Right.
But our feeling is that the numbers reflect other communities like us. A Safe Place, interestingly, since its beginning, we've relied very heavily on volunteers. We need volunteers. We have a 24-hour, 365 days a year hotline. That means when you call that hotline, there's no operator, there's no answering service that then gets somebody. You have a live person on the other end. The truth of the matter is that in battering situations, probably 98% of them are women being battered by men. However, men are battered. We recognize that, and A Safe Place does help men as well. We have had men come to us, and likewise there's battering in homosexual relationships, so that people in those relationships need to know that our services are there for them too.
We're with Gloria Crenshaw. Hi, Gloria.
How are you?
Good. This is quite an event you got going on down here.
It is. It's very powerful.
Yeah, and you are president
of the board of directors currently.
Of Safe Place?
Safe Place Board of Directors.
What made you want to get involved with an organization like Safe Place?
I got involved with A Safe Place about 7 years ago, somewhat unexpectedly helping a woman out in need.
Really?
Found out a little bit more about A Safe Place. was invited to take their training to become a volunteer. Started out my involvement with a safe place as a hotline volunteer.
Really?
It was very interesting. The training was very moving, very interesting, very educational, informative. I would certainly encourage anyone to take the training, not necessarily to become involved with a safe place as a volunteer, but just for their own education and edification. We're also in the school system educating all ages so that we can prevent this from happening at very young ages.
We were talking before about breaking that chain, because it seems to be kind of a generational thing.
Exactly.
Passed down. How do you get at that? Is it starting with the schools, starting educating them young?
Yes.
Is that how you break the chain?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's providing education, and I think empowerment is a good word as well, to let those children know that they have a voice. I think people feel that on Nantucket this type of thing wouldn't happen, or it only happens in certain neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods. Doesn't happen to affluent families when it knows no boundaries as far as socio or economic aspects are concerned. It's throughout our society, and it's been going on for thousands of years.
It's an uphill battle.
It is.
But thanks a lot for working hard at it.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure.
Safe Place is one of the most vital institutions on Nantucket, and it's a shame that it has to be here, but
it's good that it's here.
That it is, yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Very good.
What are you doing down here today?
Came down to the opening.
And have you looked at photographs?
I looked at all of them. Yeah.
What do you think?
Very heavy emotional exhibit.
It's real stuff, isn't it? Is there an issue about taking photographs like this as far as the voyeuristic kind of
No, this is
approach as opposed
photojournalism.
to getting involved?
This is important work, you know, because you're exposing, a part of reality that no one would ever get to see unless you were a bystander.
Right.
As if children learn through example, and he's learned like the most intense emotional anything he's been exposed to as his father. I'm sure it's the most intense thing he's ever been exposed to. So it's captivated him, and now he's acting it out over and over and over. It's as if the spirit, the emotional spirit of the emotional spirit of the experience that he witnessed has captivated him, now inhabits him, and replays itself through the kid.
Right. Yep.
It's weird. It's like emotions take on a life of their own. Actions and emotions and all this stuff take on a life of their own, and then the person becomes a medium for the reenactment of these things. It was scary. You see the look on the kid's face.
Yeah. Kids learn what they see and what they're told. They know. They're just copying what they see.
They don't know. They're lowering the quality of their victim's life experience by degrees. They're not paying attention to their victim.
Right.
Only they're caught up in their emotional fervor. They're like releasing whatever they're experiencing with that.
It's almost like an infantile thing, because they say that babies, when they're first born, one of the first major steps of development is they understand there are things outside of them. It's like a very infantile, in the first few months thing. And it's almost like these guys who are perpetrating this abuse are still in that pre-infantile stage.
Most everybody or whatever, the statistics are everybody that's beating people was beaten.
Yes.
Those are statistics,
Did you see Good Will Hunting?
No, I haven't yet.
That's what it's about.
No way.
How do you break the chain, though? How do you break that chain? How do you?
Well,
it's a generation.
It's a matter of changing your habits, understanding where they're from, what they're about, and taking possession of your behavior.
Right.
And that's really probably the hardest thing for people to do is take possession of their behavior.
It's learned behavior from generation to generation. It's like a chain. And to get at that last link, you've got to convince that person that they need need to make this change, and that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Generally,
what do you
people
appeal
have to just understand it on their own, in their own time. You know, it's like lead a horse to water. You know, you can't make them drink.